Yo, we'll have to test it. There's only one way to find out, I think. Yeah. What I thought.
Right. Here to take you in. Even at the end of the road.
Wait, hang on. Bloody nose and bloody snot in it. Snotty. Right. You go live on Twitch, man. Vamonos. Vamonos. Seriously, man, I have no idea whether this is just a cold now or hay fever or both or something else. Every day for the past like 3 months, just constantly. It's not completely unusual, but it's really annoying. You go there. Test. Yo, microphone's kind of low. If we do that, audio up to about 3. Let's get a test. Good, should be great. Alright. What's up, Drop? How you doing? What's the quality looking like to you? Oh, what's this then? Huh. Why did that happen? Disconnected, reconnected. Now what? Ah, it's an online game. That's very strange. We're gonna give it a shot anyways. Not too bad, man. Feeling a bit groggy, but here we are. So look at that. I don't know whether. I guess I'll figure out in time. Or maybe we'll never know. Did the intro just change? No, it could be. I think it did change. It changed.
That's right. Here to take you in. Even at the end of
No,
the road.
no, I didn't.
A drink to wet your throat. Well, how is it?
Bland.
Spring's bounty in Jiangnan tastes sweet. Shall we go together?
Shall we go together? Shall we?
It's like proper kung fu movie script, isn't it? It's like old school.
Don't be.
Shall we
The coward's
go together? What's up, A2? This is the first time I'm trying it, so I don't really know what to expect yet. I guess we'll go straight into it.
The secret within that pendant must be quite something.
Cool, horse chase straight away. This feels familiar. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, what? Is that my internet connection? What the hell, man? Oh, I'm just gonna play something else. I'm just gonna do that.
The whole world's after you.
But I only started doing it after I went live. Yeah, it's just gonna be a pain. Oh well. I think I might need a new Ethernet cable, or it could just be that my internet connection sucks. Who knows? I can't be doing that the whole stream though. It's gonna get annoying. Yeah, dropkick. Yeah, I probably would take offence to a non-black person singing the N-word. I think it's very irresponsible. Not only the person singing it, the person who put it in the song. Both parties are irresponsible. Got that groggy look in my eye. It's like that look, like that look like God, there's gonna be an argument kind of look. So that's how you know you grew up in a terrible environment. It's gonna be an argument today. Joking. What's up? What's up, Darius? No Savior, how you doing? Oh yeah, I forgot to do a call-in test. So this is a call-in show. You can head over to TikTok at SetWest10. Come and request up to speak about a topic or anything really. I don't mind speaking about things that aren't on the screen. I think people sometimes aren't aware of that. Maybe I don't make it clear. But yes, we can speak on other topics if you would like, as long as they're not too ridiculous. Because I'm actually interested in a variety of things. What's up? How we doing all for us? How's that project going? Test. Oh, we don't want camera on. Test. Test. Yeah, we got sound. First try too. Oh wait, let's not jump the gun. Let's make sure that test. Yeah. So yeah, we got call-in sound. Callers can come up. What's up, Jilbin? Is it, how do I say your name? Ah, yes, of course. Humans invented religion. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I didn't want you to install FIFA anyway. Stupid thing. It just does what it wants. That doesn't really make sense the way you said it, Shad. Do you want to come up and speak to me? It'd be a lot easier to communicate that way. Why did you ask anyway, Drop? Why did you ask? I remember where we were now. Fight a worm and Godskin duo. Oh, Godskin alone. Hey, but you refilled the lady's hairspray, innit? That was crazy. But you get people like that all over. So it's like, oh yeah, God worked miracles in my life. He did this like random, almost meaningless thing. But yeah, he's failing to do these incredibly important things. So it's very strange. But I think that's a part of the the God thing in the first place. The fact that it's really just a tool, or just like it can be like a comfort blanket. But there's someone also said, I can't remember who said it, like God is the is like a veil or the cover we throw over reality to make it make sense. I can't remember the exact quote. But yeah, people do that all the time. It's like, oh, God works in mysterious ways when he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. No, that's not how that works, Shadow. Humans evolved. We came naturally like every other piece of life in our known universe. We're matter configured in different ways. Now, that being said, do I rule out the possibility that human life was created? No, I don't rule that out because it's not something I can know for certain. But in terms of what science says with abiogenesis, speciation, evolution, I think that's well supported in comparison to creationist myths of a mind or a deity making everything. My note's so blocked, bro. Excuse me. Look at that, bro. God, why sinus? If God, why hay fever? If God, why common cold? I'm joking. Gods do not go against human desires, bro. And you know, human desires aren't actually bad, right? You realise that? People have this like warped cultural view of what a desire is. They think of it as some like dark or evil, twisted part of us. You can have a desire for peace. You can have a desire for love. You can have a desire for justice. So these things aren't inherently bad. You think of, maybe when you think of desire, you think of things like lust, greed. Those are things called vices. You can also have desires for virtues too. But hey, yeah, God doesn't go against human desires because humans invented gods. There are so many cultures that basically follow what's known as asceticism. It's basically like when you think of a monk, a Christian monk or a Buddhist monk, how they live a life, like a renunciate type of life. They give up certain things. And the reason they give up those certain things is to build virtue. It's like good character. But yeah, like gods and books don't go against desires like that. Bro, you haven't got a username, so you're a bit dubious. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
How you doing, my friend? What's your name?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Chilling. Yeah. How are you?
What's your name, bro?
Oh, my name? Yeah, you could just call me Zach.
Cool. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just chilling. How about you?
Not too bad. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I came up. I see that you said humans invented God. So you're atheist?
Well, yeah, as far as gods go, yeah.
Okay, so then, I'm curious. You were listing off good things that you believe to be good, I guess, which I agree with.
Like what?
But, are those things, morally good to you?
What things? What things you talking about?
Anything good. Like I guess just in general, where are you getting your moral compass from?
Oh well,
If you're an atheist.
morals come from humans, right? So, if you think morals come from a god, right, that's also a human moral framework known as divine command theory. So humans write the book, which you extract the morals from. Humans produce the god, which they assign anthropomorphic characteristics to. Then you extract the morals from that. So all morals are human, essentially. Morals don't exist independently of us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, so I get it. You don't believe the religions are true, but for example, I'm a Muslim, so my moral compass, you don't have to believe it to be true or not, but it comes from the Quran.
Yeah,
That's where
but
the collection of my moral compass comes from.
sure,
So I'm
but
asking where's yours at?
your moral compass comes from men, just like mine does.
You believe that,
No,
but you
yes,
don't believe
the
it's
Quran
true.
is written by men. There's no doubt about it. Even
No,
in the
that's what you believe.
no,
You believe it to be the words of man.
even in the Muslim faith, it was men who had to write the Quran down, bro.
That's a different comment. The Quran is a recitation. So
No,
the
that's
writing
what the
aspect
claim
of
is.
it
That's what the claim is. But the reality is,
no, that's
wherever you find text, it is men who put it there. That's the reality,
sure, bro. The
regardless of the
Quran isn't
belief.
about text, though. The Quran isn't about text. That's a different combo, bro. Right
No,
now,
it's
I'm just
not.
asking about. Yeah, my friend, I'm asking you about like your moral. So you
Right.
you
So,
create your
do
moral
do you
compass, right? I'm assuming.
do you have a good understanding of what morals are?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Can you give me a definition or just like an explanation of what you think it is?
Of like morals,
Mhm.
not my personal morals, but just what morals are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the foundations or the barriers set of what is permissible. I guess really, the easiest way to put it.
So I'll give you a simplified definition, right? Morals are a system of determining what is good and what is bad, or what is right and what is wrong. Right? That is the definition, a standard definition.
Yeah, sure.
With
Yeah.
morals,
So like basically boundaries being set for what is okay and what is not okay.
not necessarily, right? It's a system, okay? So off of morals, right?
Yeah, sure. A system.
You
Yeah.
could think of morals as your internal compass or your internal system, things that you value or disvalue. But off of morals, you get what's
Yeah,
called
yeah.
ethics, okay? Ethics are also a system of how you approach things. So uh, your ethics will inform the morals, like the code you choose to walk around with, thinking about. Now, you could be a Muslim, you could be a Christian, but your moral compass will be made up of all these different things pulled from different ethical frameworks. So, just for instance, you could say divine command theory is a type of ethic framework. Okay, that would be like God says this is good because God says it's good. Right? But you can also say, as a Muslim, right, God says this is good, but I disagree about this thing. So in this particular
No, you
circumstance,
cannot say that.
I'm giving you an example, a hypothetical example. So as an individual believer, right, you can draw your moral framework from different ethical
No,
systems.
you
Listen,
can't, bro.
yes, you can, right? I'm going to explain it, right?
You're not a full believer then.
So there's virtue ethics, right, which is concerned with the character of the person doing the action, right? There's the ontological ethics, right, which is concerned with duty-based things that you're obliged to do in society. There is utilitarianism, trying to get the greatest outcome for the greatest number of people. There is sorry, I'm a bit groggy. There's egoism, just concerned with your own happiness or dwelling. There is there's various different ethical systems, right? I'm not really fully awake, but each individual person, regardless of what they purport to be, they draw ideas about morals from all of these different frameworks, just subconsciously based on culture. So the morals that you will find in a religion are also made up of those kinds of things. Although in a religion you come under divine command theory. I think what would be better here is if I actually give you the correct definitions instead of just like off the top of my head maybe. Would you prefer to hear it that way?
No, because I'm not asking you what is morals, isn't like what I'm asking, bro. So I'm asking about location is my whole point.
Yeah,
So
this
all
is
of the
within
stuff
that.
about if yeah, so right now it's not about is my religion true or not. That's not yet where we're at.
No,
I'm just
I didn't
telling
say
you
that.
my yeah. So I'm just telling you objectively, my moral compass comes from a collection of what is in the Quran. That
Yeah,
is where I get my premises from, and that is where I get my belief system from.
that's
Nothing
but
that
to
I
be
believe
frank with
is
you,
from my own
that
desire.
that is not
It comes
objective though. You realize that?
Yeah, it's not objective in the sense of for someone who's not a believer. Yes, of course,
No,
but
just in general, it can't be objective because
if you are a believer, it is objective.
all morals are stance dependent. That means it depends on what you view, what you value, what you disvalue. So, for instance, God's morals, right?
Exactly.
God's morals are
Yeah.
also stance dependent. That means it's divine subjectivity. If so, there's this ancient thing called the Euthyphro dilemma, right? And basically, like I can't remember if it was Socrates or Plato, one of them. But basically, the problem is this, right? Is what is good because God says it's good, or is it just good? Right? But within divine command theory, it gives you a scenario of saying, okay, God can decide today that unaliving innocent children is good, and it would have to be good because God says it's good. The only way you could tell God that, well, not tell God, but the only way you can refuse to unalive those innocent children is if you pull morals from a different framework outside of divine command theory. Right? So that's what I'm trying to say when
No, yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying, but like the thing is, like, so you said a couple things. For one, that would go against God's nature in the Islamic paradigm. So there's
yeah,
like that doesn't hold
that's a
as a
belief. That's a belief, right?
yeah,
But
yeah. But if you're gonna
would you
critique it
would you
like
acknowledge
in the
that?
paradigm, you know?
Would you acknowledge that Allah is the God of Abraham?
Yeah, that's what I believe. Yeah,
So would you acknowledge the events of the Old Testament then?
no, no,
Why not?
yeah, because I don't believe that the Old Testament, in my paradigm, was people held the truth
Hmm.
of what happened.
So how could you know about the God of Abraham without the Old Testament?
Yeah, because of the Quran.
No, the Quran is informed by the Old Testament.
The Quran, you said, is what?
Informed by the Old Testament. You couldn't get a
What do
Quran.
you mean by informed
So
by
like
the Old
it
Testament?
goes Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and timeline wise, right? Real world history. So Islam is informed by events in the Old Testament and the New Testament. So in order for Islam to produce the Quran and have ideas about Allah, the events of Abraham have to happen. Okay, and the events of Abraham are
Yes.
contained within the Old Testament.
Yeah, yeah. So no, the thing is, you're right. Like the events of Abraham, I believe happened. The whole, all of the 12 prophets that came after him before the revelation of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But in terms of like when you say you need the Old Testament and stuff, like I do believe the original Old Torah was a revelation given from God, and I believe it was given to Moses
So
to
then
the
those events,
Israelites.
yeah. So those events are talking about the same God then.
But now the thing is, some of the stuff, yeah, some of the stuff I believe it to be true
You can't
from
really
what the Quran confirms. But
look.
some of the stuff, no, they
So
just added
you
and
you
changed.
individually you can pick and choose what you want to believe, but if we're talking about overarching, right, we would have to say, hey, the Quran is talking about the same God as the Jews and the same God as the Christians. Right, we can pick and
Yeah,
choose which ones you think, oh, that's true, that's lies, that's corruption. You can pick and choose.
I don't get
Right?
to pick and choose. No, no,
You just
this is
did
not
though.
like I'm not speaking from my personal pick and choose. No, this is what the Quran is telling me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but that was
I'm quoting the
somebody's
Quran for you, bro.
that was someone's editorial choice. You realize that, right?
You see, now you're going based off the claim that Islam is false.
Well, of course, I think all religions are false, so that's obvious.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I haven't brought up Islam, bro. You brought up Islam. What I was asking
No,
you is, where is your morals coming from?
yeah, and I
That
said,
was my whole
yeah,
question.
that's what I was trying to explain to you, right? All morals come from humans, so even the ones found in the Quran. Right? So
So you pick your own morals, then basically that's your answer.
all humans do. What's up, Loopy? So as I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
trying to
I'm
explain,
not asking about all humans right now, bro. I'm just
mm,
asking you. You're speaking
yeah,
for all humans right now. So
yeah,
you specifically, where do you get your morals from?
myself and other humans.
Okay, so you created your own morals.
So
Okay, so
morals,
then
remember what we described morals as a system of determining good and bad and right and wrong. Right? That doesn't exist external to you. That is entirely
yeah,
stance dependent on you. So there is no way you
yeah.
couldn't pick your morals.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, brother. So right now, I get it. So right now, we are at a conclusion that you
Hmm.
decide your own morals. So there's 8 billion people
Yes.
roughly in the world today. 8 billion people. So 5.5 billion of those people roughly
Yeah.
are coming from the Abrahamic faiths.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're either Judaism, Islam, or Christianity. So that means
Unfortunately, yeah.
5.5%. Yeah, yeah. So 5.5 billion people in the world today, they don't decide their own
Oh yes,
morals.
they do. Right. But
They're
what? Right. So there's two problems with what you're saying. One is a bandwagon fallacy. Right. Who cares how many people do what? But the reality is, you cannot speak for every individual within a faith. Like I just said to you, right? Look, if I work for a company, right, and I'm like associated with that company, it doesn't mean I hold all the values that the head of the company holds. Okay, just like an individual Christian doesn't necessarily abide by everything in the Bible, and an individual Muslim doesn't necessarily abide by everything in the
yeah,
Quran. Okay, so when you make
of
those
course.
sweeping statements, you're making like really silly judgments. Okay, so five point however many billion people are all still individuals. They're not a monolith like that. So what?
Yeah,
So like I was just saying to you, right? if the Quran prescribes divine command theory and it says, oh, God says this one thing is good, right? It doesn't mean
Yeah.
every individual Muslim thinks that one thing is good. So where they disagree with
Right.
that one thing, whatever that issue may be, they would be using a different moral system to judge that one thing. That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay. No,
So,
I hear you.
so
So
you can't
I
not
agree with you when you.
you can't not choose your own morals, right? Even if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are a Muslim, even if you are a Christian, even if you are an
yeah.
atheist, you have to choose your own.
No, so like I agree with you on some parts when you say like not every Muslim, including myself or every Christian, are following all of what the moral compass lays out.
You
For
couldn't.
example, yeah, everybody's a sinner, so of course
I
there's
disagree with
nobody
that, but
that's
yeah.
not following. Yeah, yeah, but nobody's perfect. Let me quote it that way for the for terminology purposes. So
Did you
like
say criminology?
no, I said just for terms, I get it. You don't like nothing's a sin to you because of your belief.
Yeah,
So I'm just
I
gonna say
also
no one is perfect.
I also think
Well,
perfect doesn't exist either, but I
yeah,
think
exactly.
perfect is
Nobody's
paradoxical.
perfect. So what I'm saying, bro, my whole point that I'm getting at is there's people, the people of the books, including myself, we might obviously not do something or we might break a rule, but that doesn't mean that we create our own moral compass. That just means like
It does.
we are aware. No, actually, because that means I like, for example, say I do something which I probably did today that's against the moral compass, whatever it can be, whether it's
Mm,
something small or big.
yeah, that means you
After I do
decided
it,
that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But the thing is, my whole point is after I or during I do or before I do it, at any point, I'm still aware of the fact that what I'm doing is wrong to my belief.
That's what
I'm
you
still
you
doing it.
you might say that. That's not necessarily true. Like for instance, if you disagree with something
Mm,
that is wrong, that is still a moral choice, because you're
no,
establishing, hey, that thing is wrong, and I disagree with it.
I'm not doing it because I disagree with it. Like I'm saying,
Yeah,
say
I'm
I
there's negative and then there's positive. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So like, say God appears to you and say, hey, go kill that child, right? You'd probably, if you're a decent person, be like, no, I'm not doing that. I think that's wrong. Okay, but if God is the one telling you to do it, right,
You're
then
asking
you
me hypothetical. Yeah,
no, no.
that's
This
not
is
unlike.
this is actually a religious problem. This is a real thing. It's not just hypothetical. If you believe
I'm
in
talking
God,
about real
anyway.
life right now, bro. I'm
Yes.
talking about like real life right now.
So am I. Right. That's what I'm
You're
saying.
talking about if God was to tell you to
No,
unalive a baby,
this is real,
how
bro.
would that make God?
Right.
That will
Right.
never. That's not a. That's a
All
hypothetical,
right.
bro.
So, like I said to you earlier on, right, the Quran requires what the events that take place in the Old Testament, and more than once has God Himself unalived children and told people to unalive children. Okay. So,
You're
like I'm
not
trying to
Christian,
say,
bro.
bro, whether you subscribe to Christianity or not, you're talking about the same God. That was the point I was making earlier on. Okay. So
Bro, nah,
this is
that's
a
not like.
bro, this is a real problem in religion, okay? So I'm trying to explain to you. For you to be able to know unaliving a child is wrong, you would have to have a different moral framework or a different ethical system than divine command
Yeah, yeah,
theory, okay?
yeah. Right now, I haven't brought up like right now, bro. You brought it back to Islam and to which religion and scripture. I'm not talking about that yet. We're kind of getting
No,
somewhere. I just want to like follow up on the point, the last
yeah,
point
but
which you said.
you're not grasping the overarching point. That's what I'm trying to say to you. If you think morals can be objective, like independent of you, then you don't understand morals. That's what I'm saying to
No,
you.
bro. Okay, hear me out though. I get what you're saying. You're basically trying to tell me if you don't follow something that's in the moral compass of what you believe at that moment, then you created your own moral. Is your whole point.
Right?
What I'm trying to tell you is though that is not necessarily.
The moral compass itself is a creation of men. That's what I'm saying to you. Ultimately, there is no moral compass that is independent of men. It cannot be
Yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
sure. And you believe that because you don't believe anything
It's not a
is true.
belief. It's just by definition, bro.
No, actually, that's an atheist definition,
No,
and I don't follow that
moral
paradigm,
is a
bro.
system of determining what is good, what is bad, what is right, and what is wrong. The only way one can determine what is good and what is bad is a value judgment. So that is stance dependent. That
Yeah,
needs
bro. We
you.
haven't
It
gotten
needs
to the point.
you in the picture in order to determine the good or the bad.
Yeah, bro. God, we haven't brought God into this picture yet. So,
Oh,
like,
we
who
have
created the moral compass? Like,
men,
set that aside for a second. Yeah, sure. Like,
of course.
right now, all we're talking about right now is where we're getting our moral compass from. Location. But keep in mind, brother, Location
Yes,
is the main focus.
that's
So I'm
what
telling
that's
you,
this is what I'm saying to you. You don't understand what you're saying.
okay, so I'll even sure I'll grant you for argument's sake, say no religion is true, but still, whether it's that's even the case, it doesn't matter. That still means that people are getting their moral compass from a location.
When
I'm
you
still
say a
getting it.
location, what do you mean? Right? Do you think
Yeah.
like
So
you
when I
go
say
into a place and picking it up, or do you
scripture,
mean you find
location is scripture.
right? So, but
So
but what did I establish earlier on? Any piece of writing, any literature, whether a holy text or a fictional book, comes from a human.
okay, sure, yeah. You
Language
know what,
itself.
bro? I think you are. I don't know if you're doing it on purpose. But okay, follow me through right now, brother. Sure. Say it's from humans. Say there's no God. Yeah. Say Paul and Muhammad. Okay, sure, bro.
Yeah.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So say right now I get my moral compass. You don't believe it to be from God. Say it's from Muhammad. So 2 billion people in the world today get it from Muhammad, let's say. And
Yeah.
then say there's no Jesus and it's Paul. So say
Yeah.
3 billion people get it from Paul today.
Yeah.
So like almost, and then
But
another
Paul
almost.
and Muhammad both got their moral compass from elsewhere too,
Okay, whatever, bro. You stop, bro. All you're
because
doing
they're
is just using,
humans.
bro. It doesn't matter right now. You don't want to get to the point. I'm realizing you keep extending which human it got to. Let's just stop at Paul and Muhammad, then,
Oh boy.
okay? For argument's sake, though. So right now, 5.5 billion people around the world are
Bandwagon.
getting their moral compass and what they believe to be okay and not okay from those two scriptures.
That's obviously not
Right.
true. That's very childish thinking. It's obviously not true. You're talking about
No,
2 billion individual people.
no, those individual people are sinners, yes,
It
but that
doesn't
doesn't mean
matter.
that they created their moral
They're still,
compass.
bro. Because
The
like,
whole point. What does a believer
right.
mean?
So think about it like this, right? You in your worldview,
What are you
you
talking
would
about,
want
bro?
free will to exist, right? In your worldview, you would like free will to exist. So you could be good or you could be a sinner. I'm pretty sure, right? For you to look at 2 billion people, right, and think they're all just doing this exact thing that the book says to do would be
I
stupid.
didn't say that.
Because they
I didn't say they follow
stop
it.
saying that. Then that's what I'm
No, no, I'm
saying.
not saying. I'm not saying they're following this moral
No,
compass. No, I'm just
you're
saying their
saying they're
moral
getting
compass.
no, you're saying they're getting their moral compass from there, and I'm saying to you, no, each individual person is choosing what is good and what is bad to them, right? This is what I'm
No, you
saying to
see,
you.
now you're speaking for those people. Statistics say
They
those
they
people are
have
believers.
to look. This is why you don't understand morality. Morality is stance dependent. Like it doesn't exist
No,
outside
no,
of
no, no.
you.
Time out. Now
You
you made a
don't
big
understand
claim.
what you're
Now you're
saying,
saying.
bro.
Now what you're saying is, those people that statistically are believers. You're saying I don't care that they're believers. They don't care for the
No,
scripture.
I'm
I'm
saying
not
the
saying that they follow
individual,
the scripture. I'm not.
their morality doesn't exist outside of them. That's what I'm saying to you. You don't understand what you're saying, bro.
No, bro. No, no, no. Now you have shifted the goalpost to a
Oh my
whole different
gosh.
barrier. Because what you're saying, bro, is anytime they break
No,
basically code.
it's not even if they do something bad. If they do something good, it's still their choice. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Your
Of
morals aren't
course,
like
yeah,
a
yeah. You have
it
free
isn't like a
will to
law.
pick.
It isn't a
Yeah, yeah.
law,
Of
right? It's a
course. Yeah, yeah.
choice.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry for the obvious. I thought I thought this was a known thing. By the way, I choose to be Muslim. Alhamdulillah. But
That's
like,
cool.
yeah, you're right. I don't
I don't
have
think you
to.
did, but I could disagree on that.
Yeah, I don't have to. Like, I don't have to. Of course, like I don't, if your point is they don't have a choice or they have a choice, yeah, let's say everybody has a choice, okay? Just for you have to grant some stuff, bro, for a discussion to progress. The way I'm granting, if you try to find a loophole to everything, we will never progress in the combo, bro.
No, if your foundation is incorrect, then you can't get anywhere. And it seems you don't have a good understanding of morality, so you're not
The problem
grasping
is
the
you are speaking
conversation.
for believers right now,
No,
bro, and
we are
you're speaking on
humans. It doesn't
Sarah.
matter if you're a believer or non-believer. Moral codes or ethical
It does.
frameworks exist, right? And those moral codes and ethical frameworks are dependent on your stance, e.g., your personal subjective experience. Okay, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, a Jew, an atheist, a
No,
Buddhist,
actually, you're right.
they all
Wallahi.
depend on the individual person, right?
Yeah.
One person can say, "Hey, I'm going to follow this what God says about this matter," and another person says, "Hey, I'm going to follow what virtue ethics says about this matter," and another person says, "Hey, I'm going to follow deontological rule sets about this matter," right? But they can all still be Christians or Muslims or whatever. You can have a divergent or let's say a variety of moral tools at your disposal, right? Or moral schools of
Sure.
thought,
Yeah.
right? So every individual Muslim and every individual Christian aren't just doing what the Bible says is good or bad. They're picking and choosing, right? Every single one.
Okay, so yeah, of course, like there's discrepancies and the details in terms of like, hey, no, this might not be permissible this way, or I'm gonna do it that way. In all religions, of course, yeah, there's that going on.
For all
But when
humans
I say
across the
their
board.
morals, yeah. But when I say the people of the books and like these people, their morals compass is coming from scripture. What I mean by that is the overall general consensus in terms of things like, hey, unalivement, hey,
No,
rape,
there isn't
hey,
an agreement on that. It's
yes, there is,
specifically,
bro. Now
bro.
you're just being
Specifically,
disingenuous.
no, I'm not. I'm trying to explain something to you.
There's,
Specifically, in a religious context, there isn't an agreement on that because
yes,
of the
there is
fact,
actually.
of divine command theory and the events in these religious texts, right? The
Okay,
things
no,
that
now you're
God,
just being ridiculous, bro.
no, bro.
For
The things,
unalivement, I'm not even a Christian. I'm not a Jew. I'm a
all
Muslim,
right.
by the way.
So yeah,
And
all
I
right. So
can even say,
how
even in
many
their
wars?
scripture,
How many wars?
unalivement is a pretty clear
How
thing.
many
It's
wars
not.
are
It's a
there in the
sin.
Quran? How many wars are there in the Quran?
In the Quran,
Mm.
two, and then technically three during a time, if you
So
want to
how many
consider it.
people in total die in the Quran or get killed in the Quran?
What do you mean get killed in the Quran?
There are people who are unalived in the Quran, right? In religious texts.
No, if you're talking about chapter 9 Surah Tawbah, for example, of what was going on during the battle, yeah, sure. What about it?
Right. So the point of what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say to you is, right, the Quran requires events that occur in Judaism and Christianity in order to build its worldview or its revelation. Okay.
Then again, you're changing the topic right now.
No, I'm giving you a
We're getting
background.
somewhere in
I'm
the
giving you
convo.
a background. Okay. The reason why you can't say across the board in religion killing is wrong because there's instances when God okays killing, right? The reason you can't say X is objectively wrong because in a religious context there's instances when God permits X happening, right? Regardless of the view. That's what I'm trying to say to you. What you're subscribing to is divine command theory, and that depends on God's subjectivity. This is the whole point.
Yeah, right now, bro, I haven't brought, like, you keep going back to Revelation and to all
No,
these things about
we are
details of
talking about morals
religion.
in
I'm just asking
totality.
where your morals, remember, the whole point is
They
the
come from
location of
men.
where you're getting your morals from.
Men, just like you.
Yeah, remember, I even granted, for argument's sake, I said, sure, there's no God for this discussion, and we're just talking about where the population generally is getting their moral compass from.
Men, of course.
We, sure, even if it's man, but you cannot just deny facts for however you want to be.
What
5.5
facts? What?
billion.
Oh,
Yeah. So the
you're
fact is
you're
right
a
now,
bandwagon.
yeah,
You're like a fallacy generating machine.
no, bro. You should actually go online and look into
Oh my
it.
gosh.
Atheism is a very small portion of the world, bro.
Bro, listen.
I get it that it's a growing thing.
What
but
you
the
need to
majority of the world
understand.
disagree with you.
What you need to
I don't know
understand
if you,
is the moment you invent a god, you invent atheism, right? So the minute a person, well, let's say the minute an ancestor devised a god, which we know today, right? They also devised atheism, the negation of the belief in that god they invented. Okay, it's not anything magical. It's not even anything special. It's just a reality we live in. Morals are something
I
that
agree.
depend on humans. Okay, there's no two
No,
ways
so
about it.
no. So the thing is, man, I think you think that I don't think you think, but I don't think you realize how many people around the world are actually believers.
It doesn't
It's a lot more
matter.
than you realize.
Yes, they're still humans. That like
Yeah, they're sinners.
their
Of course,
belief
we're all
system.
sinners.
Their belief system doesn't come before like their real anatomy, like what they are in the world. Right? It doesn't matter what they believe. It's
Well, you
their
got me running in a
it's their
you
actual
got me running in a
functions.
circle, man, right now. I
Yeah.
think my whole
Yes,
point. No, my whole
because
point.
you believe in this like ridiculous things. You're gonna be running in a circle for your whole life. You're not able to
Nah,
focus
man.
down.
My whole point is you woke up and you decided what is morally okay,
No,
and
you're
that can
like
change
so.
based
Look,
off the day,
your
and that can change based
experiences
off how you feel in the
your
moment, which is
experiences
very dangerous
determine,
for the
brother,
world.
your experiences determine what is good and what is right. It's based on the information
No,
you hold. Yes, bro.
you're
Listen, if
speaking for
you
me right now, bro. I'm not
oh my
speaking for.
god, bro, you're kind of annoying me at this
How are you
point. I'm not
gonna
even
tell me
gonna lie.
what determines my morals? You don't know me.
You're a
How are you
human,
determining?
all right? So
You don't know anything about me.
if we
So you can
define what
ask me.
morality is, right, a system of determining what is good and what is bad, the only way one
Exactly.
can determine what is good and what is bad is by making a value judgment, right? So that
No,
tells me,
how?
bruv,
How do you know? How do you know where I get my moral compass from? How are you
Bro,
speaking
I
from
don't want
me?
to insult you,
I'm
bro,
on the
but
live
you're
with
actually
you. You
starting
could
to
ask
annoy
me,
me.
bro, because I'm realizing you completely don't want to address the topic, bro.
Me not wanting to address the topic, bro.
I'll ask you. Let me
You
ask you.
actually
Where do you
don't
get your
understand
moral
what you're
compass
talking
from?
about. This is why it's annoying me.
Genuinely, bro. Genuinely, where do you get your moral compass from? And then you can ask me.
Humans.
So you get it from humans.
Everyone does.
Okay, so then which humans did you get it from?
But, all right, so my parents, my teachers,
Okay.
people on TV, people in books, people in comic books, strangers on the street, figures in history, religious texts, all from humans. Right? It's experiential. It's
So
like,
you did a combo
listen,
of
all
everybody
right. So
around you.
listen to me, right? I'm going to read it for you, right? Ethical
Yeah.
systems are a framework of determining right and wrong, generally divided into normative ethics, what one ought do or ought not do, consequentialism, the outcomes, virtue ethics, the character, okay? Key approaches include deontology, rules, utilitarianism, best results, virtue ethics, morality of character, and relativism, cultural or personal norms. These systems help navigate and justify and analyze moral dilemmas, right? So I'm going to give you the ethical systems that each human is walking around on Earth pulling from. And there's,
No, 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 bro.
listen,
Let's
no,
not go
this
down
isn't
that.
just for you. This isn't just for you. This is for people listening, okay? So
All right, I'll wait.
key ethical systems. Deontological ethics is duty based. It means actions are judged by whether they adhere to rules or duties. Developed by a guy called Kant, right? Consequentialist ethics, outcome based. The morality of an action is determined by its consequences, also known as utilitarianism. It seeks the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Virtue ethics, character based. It focuses on developing good character traits, e.g., virtues, rather than following specific rules. Relativism, moral judgments are not absolute but subjective to individuals, also known as subjective relativism or cultural relativism. Divine command theory, an action's morality is based on whether it's commanded by a divine being or a religious text. Ethics of care emphasizes the importance of relationships, emotions, and responding to the needs of others. Egoism defines right actions as that which is that which best promotes one's own long-term self-interest. Okay, so this isn't an exhaustive list of moral frameworks or ethical frameworks. Each individual person out throughout life, walking down their path, will inherit ideas and pieces from each one of those frameworks to build their worldview or their internal moral system. Regardless if you're a Christian, an atheist, a Muslim, a Jew, a Buddhist, right? You are influenced by all of these different ways of thinking because of your nature as a human being. Because all moral frameworks are stance dependent. So they depend on you, the information you hold, the experiences you've had. Morals cannot exist outside of you.
Okay, so
Right?
bro,
Does that
I'm
help?
here. Yeah, yeah, I'm listening to you. So right now, the last key thing I remember before, like you went on this, was you said the humans around you. Your morals come from a collection between the people around you. You said some of it comes from your parents, some of it comes from your teachers, some of it can come from, I'm assuming, like your friends, people around you, positive influences, coaches, whatever. You know, you also mentioned some of it can come from religious scripture.
In short,
So it sounds like,
experiences.
yeah, so your moral compass personally for you is from your surroundings pretty much. So
Yes.
now so now imagine like me personally, mind you, like my surroundings, I lived in two different situations growing up. My surroundings is probably not where you want to get a lot of moral compass from, but I also came from a good family too, alhamdulillah. But ultimately,
So
my dad, anything he
why
taught
is
me,
that? Why is your surroundings not a place you'd want to get your moral compass from?
I think no, I think the neighborhood was probably not like the best. You know, I think my family's always been an amazing family. You
Why
know,
do
I
you
was
think that
blessed
might
with
be the
them.
case, though? Why do you think the world isn't a utopia since so many billions of people are getting their morals from a god?
Bro, that's a whole nother compliment.
No,
That's
it's
just a
not.
matter of that's like in, like just a matter of income, bro. We're
What?
going into it financial. You're asking me why a neighborhood isn't as nice as another neighborhood, pretty
Yeah,
much.
you could be poor and righteous. You could be
Bro,
poor and
no, right now you're
virtuous.
just talking about financial status, and you're going down
No, that
where
you made it
how
about
much money your
finance,
parents
bro.
made.
You made it about finances, bro. You could be
Yeah, that
poor
wasn't the
and a
point. I
great
wasn't. That's not
person,
my point, bro.
right? Not me. I didn't say anything about money.
yeah, bro. My point isn't about like in terms of surroundings. My point is a matter of my personal moral compass is coming from the Quran.
I
I
feel
think you
sorry for
keep
you.
ignoring
That's
that, bro.
I feel sorry for you. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
sure. Yeah, sure, bro. So my whole point to you is I don't get to decide what's morally okay.
Oh yes, you
So
do.
no, you see, now you're
Oh
just speaking.
yes, you
I
do.
listened to you. I listened to you, and I heard you out for your to understand
Yeah,
where
but
you get your moral
you
compass
don't
from.
understand what morals are. That's the problem.
No, you actually you're thinking for me in terms of what my
even
life is,
even
man.
after I've explained it, by definition, you still don't actually understand what they are. Right? That's just something you're gonna have to learn in your own time, if you ever
Yo,
can.
okay, yeah. The last thing I want to ask you is, um, if tomorrow every believer, mind you, 5.5 billion, that just stemmed strictly from Abrahamic faith, another
You
billion
gotta
almost,
realize,
mind
like,
you.
a lot of people are stupid, bro. So
Yeah, yeah, but mind
bandwagons
you,
ain't gonna get you too far in the real
yeah,
world.
yeah, but mind you, another billion is also believers that are just now from Abrahamic. So around
Hmm.
6.5 billion people, if they woke up tomorrow and they got to
Yeah.
decide with their own moral
Got-
compasses,
They
where do you think
did
the world? How do you think the world will look?
exactly the same as it does today,
Well, there's no more sin, by the way, mind you.
bro.
That means nothing is a sin anymore.
Do you know what the definition of a sin is?
You're not, yeah. Well, you're an atheist, so
Do you
like,
know what the definition of a sin is?
based off my paradigm,
Just in definition wise.
mind you, a sin is for believers. So are you
No,
asking a believer
no.
what his paradigm of a sin is?
Well, yeah, yeah. In a sense, you could say that, but do you know what the
Yeah. So in
definition
my
of a sin
paradigm,
is?
when you ask me what is the definition, you're not in my paradigm. So a
Just say
sin
you
becomes
don't know,
definite.
bro, so I can tell you.
Bro, you're not in
The
an Islamic
definition of a sin.
paradigm.
The definition of a
I
sin
don't
is
follow your
the definition
definition.
of a sin is a transgression of a God's moral law.
Sure, yeah, you could
Sure,
actually
yeah,
break the whole thing, yeah.
yeah, sure, yeah.
But what I consider a sin is not what you might consider or what a Christian considers a sin.
Obviously not, right? Do you
Exactly.
know
So
why
you
that
don't
might
know my
be? Do you
definition of
know
a
why that
sin
might be? Because
because I
there are
I
no
follow the
objective
principle.
moral frameworks like that can come from outside of you. You get to decide that, or the people who write your book get to decide that for you. Okay, that's why it's not
Oh, you're cool.
objectively
You
a
got to
sin.
decide your own. You're cool.
Right?
You got to decide your own life, huh? About that?
The only way a sin can exist is if we actually prove a God exists and actually prove a God said not to do this and not to do that. That's the only way a biblical or Quranic or Torah sin can exist. Otherwise, you have what's called a cultural sin. Right?
So for you, it's about like the fact that you get to decide your own life.
Everyone does. Even if I'm a determinist,
I don't. No, I'm not here to decide. I don't want to decide my own
wouldn't
life.
just give up then, bro, because you're a bot then. You're an NPC.
Sure, man.
That's a
But
terrible place to be.
you think so?
Yes, you need to take command of your own life if you can, even if you're a determinist, bro. Why be a bot?
I think it's terrible to have no purpose in life, man. I think
Yeah.
that's a lot
So
worse.
let's talk about what purpose might be then. What is purpose to you?
Yeah, seeking the pleasure of God. That's purpose.
That sounds
Your purpose.
hedonistic.
That's it.
Yeah, because it's a pursuit of pleasure, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
it's the
your
best
life is
pursuit of
about
pleasure.
pursuing pleasure then.
For the sake of God, yes, of course.
Well, there you go. Some people might say that's not good.
Yeah,
It's not
sure,
virtuous.
sure. They believe that.
There you go, right? So that's your purpose in life is to pursue pleasure. I'm not against that. More power to you.
Whose pleasure am I seeking?
Your own.
You see, that's what you believe.
You just said it.
No, I said the pleasure of God.
What does that mean?
That means a lot of things.
So your view is to make God happy?
Yeah, make God pleased with you.
Would making God happy make you happy? Would you
Of
making God
course,
happy make you happy? So ultimately,
of
is your own pleasure you're pursuing then,
of course,
not
God,
God's pleasure.
of course, God gains nothing from my
All right,
obedience.
so don't pivot to this. Oh,
You
like
think you think God
listen,
is gaining
don't
anything from
pivot
my
to this.
prayers?
Exactly right. Don't pivot to this. Oh, because you don't believe you have no purpose thing. That's nonsense. I tell you this right.
That
we
doesn't change the fact that you have no
we are not
purpose.
tools, right? Some like again, you think of yourself as an NPC and a bot. That's fine. I don't think of myself like that. So I don't think of myself as a
No.
tool, right? Like an ends to a means. So my creator, air quotations, the hammer maker, isn't assigning me purpose. In your instance, the hammer maker is assigning you your purpose. So you are no different than the bot or a tool. Okay, I don't think of myself like that. I
Your
think of
choice.
myself as a subjective person having a subjective experience. Okay, so I get to determine what the purpose of my life is going to be, or the purpose of my actions or my pursuits. You don't, right? That's a very difficult place to be. But
Okay,
anyways,
so basically you wanted freedom. That's what it's about for you.
well, freedom is, yeah, ideologically speaking, freedom is right up there, like one of the top things for me. But I don't know about you. Maybe submission
So
is up there for you.
so what did you gain with this freedom?
What do you mean?
You said like you're not a believer.
Mm.
Like, I'm not even talking about Islam
So
specifically. I'm
you
just
could
saying in
say,
general.
you
What
could
did you
say
gain?
it's, you could
What freedom
say,
did you gain?
yeah, you could say it's a return of sovereignty, a return of agency, return to how I was born in this world. For anyone telling me what to believe, who I'm supposed to be, right? But it's not like I gained that like some unlockable. This is a ever ongoing journey as long as I'm alive. Right? It's not just like,
So,
hey,
so
you unlocked
you
freedom.
didn't gain
Da-da.
any.
No, I'm not. I'm not free in that sense. Think about it. I'm a black man living in the West, having a conversation with a Muslim about whether gods exist or not. I'm not necessarily free to that extent. All right. So it's an
Okay,
ongoing
no.
pursuit
So you didn't.
ideologically.
So basically, you said you wanted freedom, but you didn't really
No,
gain any freedom by
that's what you
you making
said.
that choice.
That's what
What
you
did you want?
said.
What did
Right?
you want then? What was the choice that
That's what
made you?
you said. Okay.
So what did
To
you
be
want though?
clear, what do you mean? What do I
What did you
want?
want
Right, what
when
is
you
the
made the
context?
decision? When you
What
made the
decision?
decision to become an atheist, what was like your
It's not.
goal?
It's not simply a decision, right? I'm someone who thinks you must be convinced of something in order to believe in it, right? So if I'm not convinced in something, then I can't believe in it. So it's not like I set out to gain atheism. Like I'm gonna unlock atheism. Like no, right? I looked.
Oh,
I examined the information in my environment. I heard arguments. I had experiences, and that led me to realize, oh, actually, this doesn't make sense. Okay,
okay.
that's all there is to it.
What was your past faith?
Say again.
What was it like? What faith were you?
I'm not. I wasn't in a faith. You could say I believed in a Christian.
So you were a Christian before.
Hey,
Okay. So you saw the Bible was false. Did you?
I
Did
think
you?
all religious texts are false,
Yeah, yeah. I
right?
know that,
Including
but I'm saying when
yours.
you found out when no, I'm saying I'm just asking you like when you found out that like hey the Bible is false
No,
and Christianity
so
is
I
false.
have a.
Did you study any other religions
No.
before you
Listen,
made the
listen,
decision
right?
God isn't real?
Listen, right? I was never culturally tied to a religious text or a religion, right? My parents allow for me to just exist, but their influence of their like childhood traumas and indoctrination rubbed off on me. Just like my grandma was a devout Christian, took me to church once, right? But that being said, you know, they never forced me to join any religion or study any religious texts. Although I have, given my cultural condition in the West, right, and the history of black people, I was never tied to it like that. So that's not a problem for me.
Okay, but then basically you were in a Christian household, but you weren't
No,
really too heavy in the faith,
no,
and then
I wasn't in a Christian household.
just your grandma. Okay, but you used to be a Christian,
Look,
and then
what? No, bro. You're trying
I'm
to
con-
build. You're trying
I'm
to. You're trying to
confused.
build a nice
So you were an
simplified story.
atheist your whole life?
You're trying to build a nice simplified story for yourself. I told you, right? Look, I believed in a Christian type of God, given the cultural influence. But that's all there
What
is
does
to
that
it.
mean? Okay, all
It
right then.
created God.
So
It created God, an Abrahamic type of God, right? I didn't believe in Jesus. Didn't believe in heaven and hell. Didn't believe in all the shitty shit that's in the books. Just the God, right? Simplicity, or simply put, okay.
you believed in God. That's good at least.
Yeah, no, it's not. Right? But anyways, this isn't about me. This is about you thinking that morality comes from God. Okay, that's something you need to go away and study.
You know, I didn't even ask you. You know what's funny about that was I didn't once even say, "Hey, it has to
Oh, we
be
done
from
it.
God or not." I just said my morality. I didn't even tell you it comes from God. I just said it comes from the Quran.
Yeah, but you
I didn't
think
even.
the Quran
It
comes from
doesn't.
God? Like, don't wiggle, bro. We've
That's
gone
part
over
two of
this
the
already.
combo.
We've gone
No,
over this
that's part.
already. Okay.
That's part two of the combo. But
All
all
right.
I said is it comes from the Quran.
All right. So,
And I said three
why do
billion
you
people
think?
say theirs comes from the Bible.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
you just
We've
made
gone
yours
over
up.
this. No,
That's the
we've gone
difference.
over this.
Very dangerous, man.
All people are choosing their morality. Even Muhammad
No,
chose his morality. Okay.
no. You see,
So,
that's your
bro,
personal
go and
opinion.
study. Go and study, man. This is it's
Nah,
getting
man. You
tedious.
gotta have a good night, man. But you give your personal opinions a lot, man.
Well, what else opinion? Like, where else am I gonna get my opinions
I
from?
think that
Like,
you should own up to the
yeah.
fact that you decide your own moral compass and say
I've
I don't
said
follow
that.
a book.
I've said that
Yeah, but
already.
then the thing
All
is, you
humans
also
do.
wanna force that upon
Yes,
others.
my commandments, my
You wanna say
standards.
believers.
My
You wanna say
commandments, my
believers
standards.
use
Yes,
their own
yes,
moral compass.
they do.
You want people to join your club? No, they
It's not
don't.
a
Believers
club,
don't.
brother.
You
You're
want
pissing me
to feel
off, right? With
comfortable.
all due
You want to
respect,
know,
right? You're
bro.
pissing me off. Okay, we've gone
You're
over this
speaking.
and we've already
Have
established
a good
what
night,
morals
bro.
are. Right? We've done this already. Okay, if someone else wants to request up and speak, I'm more than welcome to have you up. But we're just going round in
Good night,
circles
bro.
now.
Good night. Good night.
All right, it's like good gosh, man. It's like it's going around in circles here. All right, anyone else want to come up and speak? I'm more than welcome to have you. All you got to do is request up by those two little men in the bottom corner. But yeah, you know what? Actually, it's my bad for not articulating myself properly. I'm a bit groggy, and I'm not really locked in like that. So it's my fault if I can't really deliver that kind of clarity. But hopefully we'll get better. Malekith isn't the best boss in the game. In the base game, I think the best boss is Duplexis or whatever his name is, Placidus. But in a DLC, which we're supposed to be doing, I don't know why. All right, let's just do the Godskin guy first. If I can remember how to do it. That's a good point, actually. But yeah, request up if you want to speak about it. I think humans invented God. I think all known gods are psychological constructs, do not exist independently of the mind. When I say psychological construct, all I mean is an immaterial idea. Right? So yeah, I think all known gods are psychological constructs, do not exist independently of the mind. And I also think if your God requires belief, imagination or faith to interact with, it's functionally non-existent. It requires somebody to devise a concept of it and impart that concept of it to you, or you yourself have to devise a concept of it in order to have any meaningful interaction with it. Do you know, last night I was, I can't remember what I was looking at, right? But it was basically showing us volcanoes on Mars, right? And I started to think about it in terms of this conversation, right? Humans on Earth tends to think, like, if a God does exist and he made it, oh my gosh, I'm cooked. And he made everything, right? Like, why do they not ever consider the reality of other planets and solar systems? Why so fixated on Earth? And if a God does exist, why should he give a damn about Earth in comparison to any other solar system or any other planet? I think that fixation with just us as humans, that anthropocentric fixation and that Earth fixation, speaks a lot to our invention of God and our need to be special, you know, like pedestalized above other things. Like, do you know, like, if you just look out your window at how vast Earth is, and then you think, oh, alright, now imagine this times 1 billion. There's a whole other planet out there, just as vast, and even not bigger than the one that we're on. And here we are, a little speck floating through space, thinking that we're special, and that all of this is for us. It's quite ridiculous. Anyways, if you want to request up, feel free. Let's go do this boss fight. No, but the idea that you think a god took his time, like, took time out of his eternity to just create something from nothing, e.g., creatio ex nihilo, and then create your silly little speck of an ass and say, hey, all of this is for you, like, go enjoy this this Garden of Eden I made for you, is part of the ridiculousness. It speaks to us, like, needing to matter, really, which is nothing wrong with that, because, you know, it's nice to be important, but in the grand scheme of things, we really aren't important, man. We just matter. It's kind of sad, but it's also chill. I think he can break pillars actually. But yeah, feel free to request up. I want to talk about it. I might be a little bit sleepy, a little bit groggy, so I'll try my best to actually make sense. But I make no guarantees. Slapped. Well, you can see the suppression of the algorithm. It's not just them who bought into TikTok. It was mostly through America. And Trump's on like an anti like basically like they're sanctioning a way to say anybody we dislike is now potentially a theist. So that includes atheists or anti Christian sentiments and stuff like that. What? Like America had such a great chance to free itself from all of the like ridiculous history of Europeans, and now they're just repeating the same mistakes. So before long, America's going to become a theocracy, and they're going to learn. You know, if they don't, people don't stand up to them, they're gonna bloody learn. I'm not saying like stand up to the country as in like a war. I mean the actual citizens of America are standing up for themselves. You know, but that's just my opinion. But they are, from my point of view, across the pond, they are making they're effing up. It's like, I think a lot of Americans still have this, it's like, I don't know, this rosy view of European history, and they want to be able to live their imperialistic version of it, or like a neo-imperialistic kind of version of it. And it's not going to go well. Europe didn't go well, so what do they think? Yeah, they got to like they were supposed to be a republic. Anyways, so let's not talk about that shit. That's a surefire way to get banned. Just pretend none of that ever happened. I do hear though that there's big problems with in the South particularly, with this like revisionist history happening, and then creationism sneaking into schools to replace science. Like, how could you be going backwards at that level? It's really bad. Like over here in the UK, we do well. Like a lot of schools and teachers have fought back, so like props to them. But I can't remember the exact law, but there's a law or like a I forget the word for it. But like there's this part in any publicly or state funded school has to have worship partly or wholly of a Christian nature. Can't remember exactly where it's written. You can Google it for yourself. But we technically still have that. So when I went to school, there was lots of Christian influence in like assemblies, just like the nativity and all these kinds of things. But that's actually one of the laws in our country. In order to be state funded or publicly funded, you have to have praise or worship partly or wholly of a Christian nature. So even you should know like the history of Protestantism and Church of England and all that. So yeah, but we've done. I say we, but the country has done well to become more secular in the last 500 odd years. But we're not really there yet here. You've got a resurgence of all of this Christian nationalism because of the far right and racism and all that kind of stuff. So and then the problem with Judaism and Islam, it just makes it even worse. It's why people need to be sensible and just throw religion away. Impossible. Right. So no one wants to call in. Strange, man. Very strange. Can't blame him though. I also think like, how do these like Christian nationalists expect to fight Islam and Judaism while basically being like a proponent of them at the same time? Bro? Like I view Islam, Christianity, and Judaism as like Cerberus, like a three-headed dog, or I forget what that dragon's called. but they're three heads of the same thing. So in order for one to exist, the other exists. So they can't, and like the individuals within these kind of CULTs think that by weaponizing the identity, it's just a, I can't explain it, right? It's just, it really, don't take this, well, actually take it however you want, but based on white supremacy, it's the idea of really developing an other and then building your identity as the negation of that other. But that's what's happening through religion. But I'm not, I need to have another coffee. But put it this way, you're not going to be able to defeat Islam with Christianity, and Islam's not going to be able to defeat Christianity. Judaism is like, they're the same person. It'd be like punching yourself in the face and hoping to win a fight. It just doesn't make sense. But hey. I'm not bad at Elden Ring. It's like my 5th playthrough. You're bad at watching me be bad at Elden Ring. It's like, what was I going to do again? Alright, yeah. What I'm supposed to be doing is actually doing the DLC for the first time. But it's hard to enjoy the DLC while streaming, so I'm just kind of putting it off. Try what one time? Oh. Yeah, I'm just in a distracted kind of mood anyways. Just groggy today. Well, I'm not the one who thinks something comes from nothing. If you believe in God, then you believe something can come from nothing, bro. Not only do you believe God came from nothing, you also think God made everything from nothing, bro. Specifically within Christian paradigm. Now, this doesn't apply to all Christians, but it's like your average Christian thinks God created everything from nothing, which is known as, like Jordan just said there, creatio ex nihilo. So yeah, like, 'tis not I who think everything comes from nothing, it is thee. 'Tis thee's burden. Yeah. Ironically, like, I hold the view that there's no such thing as nothing anyway. Look, nothing is just a linguistic invention as the negation of specific things. So that there's no true nothing. There's always something. That's just my opinion, though. Damn. Yoink. Oh, he done me. That was my own fault. Request up. Let's have a chat. It doesn't have to be about the topic. We could talk about anything. Talk about events in the news. A little bit of politics. Thing is, Dennis, right? I take death to be the cessation of all bodily functions, right? So that basically means the ability to experience also ceases. So I don't think anything can happen after death, unfortunately. Unless what we think death is completely wrong. But again, what you think may or may not happen after death really depends on your philosophical stance, right? How you view the world, whether you're like a materialist, an idealist, or something else. Yeah. That's all I can really tell you. But as far as finding out, shit, I'm still alive. Right? For all of the billions of people that have ever lived and no longer live, no one has ever been like, hey, do you know what's back here? Like, no one has yet, so I couldn't tell you. Right? Oh, I'm sloppy. Katana. Oh, no, I'm dead. How's man moving so greasy? I can't believe it. Two shot. But come on up. Let's talk about it. Hey, why is your name Wesley Snipes, bro? You gonna be a troll, innit? Look, just don't say anything offensive, bro. We can have a conversation, funny or not. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, bro. What's your name?
Wesley.
It's not.
That's my actual name, Wesley.
So why is your name Wesley Snipes?
'Cause, I like Wesley Snipes. innit?
Alright, fair enough. What do you want to talk about, bro?
No, I want to learn a bit more about your beliefs, innit?
Okay.
Like, what do you believe specifically?
I don't have any religious beliefs. So to me, it's like asking me what my beliefs are is a bit vague.
But okay, so I guess you're atheist, right?
One second though, bro, 'cause your mic is a little bit muffled and low. If you could like speak up or make sure your phone case isn't blocking the mic or something.
Can you hear me better now?
Nah, it sounds like you moved further away.
Damn, bro. I don't know what to do.
Just what are you on
Well,
headset or something? Yo. Bro, we can't hear you if you're speaking. How did he cancel that attack? That was pretty good. Yo, Wesley Snipes, we can't hear you, bro.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you're still muffled and breaking up a little bit.
Okay, no, I don't know what to do now. I can't fix it, but like this should be good enough, innit?
Alright, just make sure you speak up, yeah?
Yeah. So what do you believe exactly?
I don't have any religious beliefs. Like, in terms of beliefs about the world, I'm pretty sure I've probably got thousands of beliefs, but it's very vague, you know?
Well, like, would you say you're atheist?
Yeah, because I think humans invented God.
So you believe like humans invented God,
Mhm.
but like, how
You cut out, bro. You cut out, bro. I can't hear you. Oh, he dropped. That's a shame. Feel free to come back up, bro. Just like sort out your connection or whatever it was. Well, hello there. What's up, bro? Unspeakable monstrosity. We'll get to him, but we've got to do the quest first. Who invented death then? That's an interesting view. I don't know. I don't know who named the process of dying, but I think it just happens to be a fact of living. I think it's a requirement to be alive, unfortunately. So that, bro, is cool. That was a cool thing to say, that, bro. I tried to add StreamYard thingy, but you have to pay now to even like use it in this basic format. I'm not doing that. I did make a Discord, but I don't know how to use it properly, so I kind of bailed on that. I know it's unfair for you guys on YouTube, but I'll figure something out so you can call in from YouTube. But for now, I was like taking calls on TikTok. Hey, twin. Yeah. 2 in the morning. Where are you, bro? Alright. What? Okay. Is that how you beat them? I didn't say death was a failure of life. It's a feature of life. It's like a, as far as I understand, for something to be considered living, it needs to have a metabolism. It needs to be able to adapt. It needs to be able to reproduce, and it has to die in order for it to be considered living. That's what I meant. Not a failure. But yeah, in a sense, death is a failure of life, kind of. Right? So we're just going to do the DLC. It was just hella blocked. But I can't remember where I was. Shadow Keep. Let's just go there. Coming up, Moneybag. Let's talk about it. Innit, Sam? Tell them. Request that. It's 4 a.m. in the US. Don't you have different time zones in the US though? It's not 4 a.m. for everyone. Surely not. It's so big a landmass. Hello? Hello?
Bro, what's going on?
How you doing, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a delay though.
Well, tell me, can you explain something to me though, bro?
Sure.
How did humans invent God?
Well,
Break it down to me real quick.
so my hypothesis is that there are 3 main phases of God creation throughout human history. The first phase is based on a cognitive theory coined by a guy called Justin Barrett. The first phase is humans assigning agency to elemental and celestial things. So an example of this is the ancestral mind experiences a thunderstorm, a tsunami, an earthquake, a meteor shower, and they assign agency to that. To assign agency to something is to say, hey, this thing is acting off its own accord, right? So it has a mind to some extent. And they go on from there to say, actually, not only does this thing act on its own accord, but now we're going to start to create rituals, proto-rituals, to appease this thing so it doesn't do that. Then they become the first types of gods, which are elemental gods. Right? The second phase of God creation is internal generation of abstract concepts, then deifying those abstract concepts. So we start to think of things, this is all evolutionary speaking, right? So we gain cognitive capabilities that are more advanced than our primitive ancestors. Then we start to generate concepts of love, justice, war, and creation. Then we externalize those ideas into deities for other people to come and grasp these ideas. Then they become like the second wave of gods. So you get the elemental gods and you get the abstract gods. Then the third phase is when we start to anthropomorphize. Anthropomorphizing means giving things human features. So we start to give elemental gods human features and we start to give abstract gods human features and we mix them up. Why do we do that?
Yo, I don't understand nothing you saying,
For
bro.
societal cohesion. So by the time we get to the third phase, we start to get gods like Yahweh or gods like Zeus or gods like Ra. Okay, so these gods will have elemental features and abstract features. So essentially, what I'm trying to say, if you didn't understand any of that, is humans invent gods as a tool to explain reality. Okay.
So do you believe in a higher power?
Not necessarily, no, because what is meant?
No, so you don't believe in a higher power.
What is meant by a higher power?
Like, how do you think the trees and the ocean got here and all that?
Well, I don't know with 100% certainty, but I think all life comes from natural processes, so there's not necessarily a mind behind it.
There's not a mind behind it?
As far as I'm aware.
But you explain it. How did the bird? Where did birds come from? And a cow and all that stuff. Where did that come from?
In the same thing that we
Where
came
did animals
from.
come from?
The same thing we came from. So like,
Where did we come from?
So there's this idea called abiogenesis. Basically, it's non-living matter meeting the right conditions, environmental conditions, to produce living matter. And from that,
hold on. You said non-living. Say that one more time.
non-living matter
Non-living matter.
Mm.
Where did you get that from? Non-living matter. Where'd that come from?
Well, it seems to be a substance in the universe. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know all the deets on it. But
Yeah. So where did you
like
get that?
it's
That's
like a
what I'm saying.
combination of atoms and wave functions. It's just like a lot of sciencey shit. Do you know?
So it's so you believe in science.
I don't believe in science. Like, science is just a tool. It's just a process. It's like a way of categorizing and understanding things.
So would you believe in the Big Bang Theory? That's what you believe in?
I don't believe in the Big Bang either. Look, the Big Bang is just an explanation.
So what's going on? I'm trying to figure.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's like maybe you're not asking the right questions. I don't know what to tell you.
Yo, man, there is a Christ, man. There is a Lord. There is a God, bro.
Why do you
I
think
can
that?
contest to it, bro. I can contest to it, man. I was homeless. I was a bum. I was messed up, man. Now I'm blessed. I got a house. I lost my kids, wife, and all that. Like
That's
I could have went
unfortunate.
down in the deep end, but bro, I know there's a God because He brought me back.
But what
you
about
know
what
I
about
mean?
your efforts though?
Would you say that again?
What about your efforts to change your life?
What about my efforts?
Hmm.
It had to take the power of God though to push me through that. It wasn't me.
Why do
I
you think
can't
that?
take. I take care. I can't. How can I? I can't take credit for that.
Do you take credit for the bad things that you've done?
I take the credit for the bad things, and I take credit for the good things.
Well, there you go then.
But it's through God. I know it's through God.
Why? How can you know that?
But what you mean? How do I know that?
Hmm.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I witnessed it, bro.
How do you
I
know?
witnessed sleeping on a bench. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Having no place to stay.
So are you saying
You know,
God?
I witnessed that,
Are you
bro. I
saying God?
witnessed-
Are you saying God did the bad things in your life too?
God did the bad things. God does do bad things, make you go through trials and tribulations to see how strong you are, to see if you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to take everything away from you so you can end up, you know what I mean, at the bottom so you can call on Him. Yeah, so yes,
Why-
He does
why would
do
He need to
certain
do that?
things to those who He loved, though, to those who He loved and those who those who are humble.
But why would
See,
He
what
need
it
to
is,
do
a lot
that?
of people got pride. That's what's killing people. You know what I mean?
But
But
the
yes, He has
question
done
is-
things.
The question is
ahead.
why He would need to do. Why would He need to
Why
do
would-
that?
Why would He need to do that?
Yeah. Why would He need to put you through all of the suffering?
Because He only does that to the people that He loves.
That sounds
He
abusive, bro.
does that to the people that He loves.
So,
You
so
know what I
like,
mean?
can you imagine
So
if like,
it's
can-
hold
no,
on.
no,
It's
just give me an
people that
example,
hold
right?
on. It's people that He has done that to, and turned their back on Him. So hey,
But can
You
you
know what I mean?
can you imagine if your dad like just came in one day and just started punching you in the face, right? And he said he just punched you in the face. He's saying it's
Right.
good for you, it's good for you, right? And just keeps beating you up.
okay, right.
Does he have to do that, or could he have done it in a different way?
What you mean? I don't listen. Free will.
I'm just
I'm a
asking
child.
you.
I can't beat my dad.
No, I'm just asking you though. Should your dad abuse you to teach you a lesson?
I mean, no, he shouldn't abuse me, but he got free will. I'm his child. So
So does that make it right?
it don't nothing. Ain't nobody right. Nothing in this world is right. We ain't
but
right.
the example
Since
the
Adam and
example
Eve
is
ate the apple. Nothing's right.
but the example
so
is
it's
God
nothing
though.
You can't say what's right or wrong.
No, but yeah, I agree. You decide what's right or wrong. But the example is God is the dad in this scenario. So you're
Right.
saying because God has all the power and all the knowledge, He couldn't think of a better way to teach you something than to make you suffer.
What you mean? I ain't obvious. I'm not suffering right now, though.
Yeah,
I'm not
of
still
course.
suffering.
But at a point,
Right. So what are
you
you
were.
talking about? I'm not suffering now. I
I know.
was suffering, but I ain't suffering now. So what that? So help me
I
with
know.
that one.
That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Right.
So if
I can
God,
see if I was
if God had
I
the
can see if I
power,
was still suffering, and then you could be like, oh yeah, why God still got you suffering? But He had me, put me in a place where, oh listen, I gotta break you down. I gotta separate you from everybody
why? This is what I'm saying to you. He
What you
has,
mean, why?
he has all the power. He
to
could
get
have,
my attention.
he could have done
got my
anything.
attention.
He could have done anything though. That's what I'm saying to you.
What you mean?
He could have made
I
it
know
so.
he could have did anything.
He could have made it so
he
you
chose to
never
put me in these
suffered.
positions. Right. He choose. Right. He could choose to do anything. So
Right.
guess what he chose to do? Hold on. Guess what he chose to do? Put me in that position so I can wake up.
Yeah, but He's the one who made you sleep though.
What you mean? And he also woke me up.
So that's crazy. It's like
How's that crazy?
Right. So if I do something bad to you, right, and I tell you the bad things for
That's
your own
not
good.
bad. What's so bad about it? What's so bad
What,
about
so what
me
I'm trying to
being
say to
homeless?
you, right? What I'm trying to
Yeah.
say to you is this, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not judging your personal experience, right? It's your experience, just to be clear. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, if God is responsible for all things, right, and He has all this power and all this knowledge, He could have made it so you would never have to be homeless and asleep anyway. That's what I'm saying.
How can you say that, though? Who are you to
It's-
say what he can do?
I'm
You
not.
sound
I'm-
weird.
I'm basing
you sound
that-
real weird.
I'm
You're
basing
telling me
that-
like, oh, God could have did it this way. Who are you?
I'm
Who
a
are
person,
you?
right?
You better
but
than God?
This is the example I'm saying to you, right? If we are going to
No,
say
you're not
God,
telling me. You're telling me what God should have,
Yes,
could have
yes,
done. How
yes.
can you tell? Who are you?
because God has
You're a
all the
human
power.
being.
God has all the power, bro. We're using the
Right.
definition that you believe in. This is what I'm saying to you. So why would you then say, actually, I went to the lowest point in my life and then I got to the best point in my life, and say, hey, that was God instead of that was me? God has the power to make it
Because
sure.
it wasn't me. Nothing's me.
God could have made it so you were always in a good place from your birth to your
What
death.
you mean? Are you in a good place?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Who think you? Who? So you think you put yourself in that good place?
Well, no, I think me and my fellow men put me here.
Your fellow man. So
Yeah.
you're putting man above God.
So anytime I've needed
Wow.
help, anytime,
That's why you're lost,
brother,
bro.
listen, anytime
You're
in
putting
life,
man, who
anytime,
God created.
listen, bro, anytime in life when I've needed help, it's been humans that have helped me.
Yeah, through God, through Jesus.
That's your opinion. Now you're telling me
Maybe
about
not,
my
maybe
experience.
not. Maybe the
You're
people
telling
that
me,
you deal
you're
with-
telling me
You're
about
right,
my
because
experience, right?
Because
That's what I'm
listen,
saying.
Satan wouldn't give. Hold on, Satan would give his son a rock or a snake for a gift. Would he? He would give him the best thing in the world, wouldn't he?
No, because Satan is
Yeah,
also
Satan
God's
would,
child.
though.
Satan is
Satan
also
wouldn't do his son
brother.
wrong.
Brother, listen.
So how you know?
By the
How you know
Bible,
what you're dealing with? How you know if you're dealing with God?
By the
or
Bible.
Satan? But listen, I know who you're dealing with because you're
Brother.
putting your faith and everything in the man, and that's wrong, bro.
bro, by the Bible, right? Satan is also God's creation.
Yes, he is.
Right. So are you saying
So what that
Satan? Are
mean?
you saying Satan
And he
treats
turned his
people?
back on
Are
Christ.
you saying Satan treats people better than God treats people?
No, I'm saying Satan treats people like you good.
Why would you think that?
What you mean? You putting your trust in man.
Right, but God is the one who's in control of both Satan and me. Then,
No, what you mean? God is God ain't in control with Satan.
of course
what are
he
you talking
is.
about? God is
Alright,
not
so
in-
are you saying Satan's
how
more
is God
powerful
in
than
control
God?
with Satan?
Are you saying Satan is
He
more
gonna
powerful
judge
than God?
Satan,
Are
but how's
you,
he in control with Satan?
brother? Are you saying that Satan is more powerful than God?
Am I saying Satan is more? I never said that.
Right. So God is more powerful than
I'm
Satan.
saying he letting him roam right now.
But God, that is
He-
God's
he-
decision. Right. So
That's
like,
who's right.
yeah, just like God let you be homeless, He's letting Satan be goofy, right? But it's still God that's in
Right.
control.
But guess one thing. Guess what he did? He
So
saved
it's
me.
God's
He ain't
fault.
gonna save Satan.
Well,
he
maybe
saved
not.
me,
Maybe
but he's
not.
not gonna save Satan.
Maybe not, my friend, right? But the ultimate
He's
fact
not
is,
right.
maybe.
No, it's not. It's
but
not.
the
He
ultimate
ain't
fact
saving.
is,
Satan's gone. He's already done.
brother, the ultimate fact is that if your God exists, right, then your God is responsible for the good things and the bad things. Satan and not Satan. Okay, that's the point.
No, listen. Nah, he give us free will.
Brother.
The things that I've chosen was bad. He didn't make me do it.
All right, so
I made myself do it.
here's a question for you, right? Do you think,
Yeah.
right? Do you think God either wanted Adam and Eve to eat the apple or He couldn't stop them?
Yeah, it was his plan for them to eat it.
So He's responsible for it then.
What you mean he responsible for it? No, hold on.
What do you
Hold on,
mean?
listen, hold on. He told them, don't eat the apple. Don't, whatever it was. We don't even know if it's an apple. But he told them not to touch that fruit. And
So
they
He
did.
wanted them to eat
Not
it.
them, not they did. The woman did.
Brother, He wanted them
she-
to. Right? He made
That's what I'm
Satan.
saying.
He made Satan. He made Adam and Eve. He made the garden. He made the apple. Right?
Right,
He is in
right.
control of the whole thing. So why?
He's not.
Why
we
worry?
Got free will.
No,
You ever heard of the
no,
word free will?
no. You don't have free will, bro.
Did you hear? Have
Brother.
you ever heard of the word free will?
Yes,
or no?
but you don't have free
Okay,
will
so
if you
that's what we
believe in
got.
God. If you believe in
Nah.
God, brother, you can't have free will if you believe in God.
What you mean?
Is your will more
So
powerful
we-
than
so-
God's
so-
will,
so God
brother?
should-
Is
so we
your
should be
is
like
your
the
will
AI, the robots
moon
now. He should control
moon?
us like we robots
Is
now.
your will stronger than God's will?
Huh?
Is your will stronger than God's will?
Is my will stronger than God's will?
Yes.
What do that mean?
Is
What do you
your
mean by
will
that?
is your free will stronger than God's free will?
What you mean, Godfrey? He gave us. What do you? That don't even make no sense.
Yes,
bro.
it does, my guy.
It does not.
Yes, it
Explain
does.
to me. What do
All
you
right,
mean?
so you saying you got free will, okay?
Right. We all have
But
free will. He gave
right, so
Satan free will.
brother, just listen, man. You got free will according to you, and God gave you that free will. That means God's power
Everybody,
is.
don't just say
That
me.
means
Just say
yeah,
God gave
yeah,
us
yeah.
free will.
Cool. But that means
Right,
God
say
power.
that.
That
Don't say
means
me.
that
Don't
means.
just single me out. Say God gave out free will.
Moon, you're being ignorant,
Then
bro.
finish
I
the
don't
sentence.
want to drop
Finish
you,
what you're
man.
saying.
All right? Don't be
I
ignorant,
don't care
please,
if you do.
please.
It don't matter.
I'm trying to have a
Don't give
conversation
damn,
with
bro.
you. I'm trying to have a
I
conversation
don't
with
care if you
you.
drop me. If you drop me, what am I supposed to do? What's gonna happen?
All right, cool.
Come on, bro.
Right, so
I don't
anyways,
care if you drop
anyways,
me.
right?
You believe in man, so
God
you can
gave
drop
you free
me.
will, right? God
You
gave.
believe in
Bruv, you're
man,
panicking,
not
man.
God,
You
so-
are panicking.
And
You
it's not
are
a coincidence
panicking.
that I'm on here with you, bro.
You are
Because you're still
panicking.
breathing.
You are
so you got
scared
a
to death.
chance.
Just listen.
You're breathing right now.
Listen, you sound scared, brother. Listen.
Listen, he's giving you breath.
You are scared to death right
It's
now.
not a coincidence that you
Right,
ran
so-
into me. It's not a coincidence
All right, so
that you ran
God
into
gave
me.
you free will. Okay, that means God's power
Gave
is
us
above
free
yours,
will.
right?
God gave us free will.
That means God's power is above yours, right? So if God has the
gave
power,
us free will.
if God has the power to give you free will, then that means His will
I can do what
supersedes
I want.
yours. No, you can't.
I can do that.
You
do what I want. I can
you
do what I
don't.
want.
No, you don't have
If
the
I
power of
wanted,
God.
like, word,
You
I
don't
could go
have the
jump off
power
a
of
bridge, I
God.
could go kill
Yes,
people,
but you
I
don't
could do
have the
whatever I want.
brother. Oh
But
my
there's
gosh.
consequences to that.
Right, but
there's consequences to that.
right, correct,
You know what I mean?
correct, yeah. But your power
Right.
isn't.
If I run a red light,
Your
I'm gonna
power
get
isn't as
caught
strong
by
as
police.
God's.
I'm gonna get a ticket. So that
I don't want to mute you, brother, but you're making this hard to have a conversation, right? Your power isn't as strong as God's. That's all I'm trying to say to you, right? Can you unmute yourself, please? I think he's probably still shouting in the background. He just doesn't realise he's muted. Right? Ah, look at that nice little breath, that little piece of peace. Let's all enjoy this moment together. He doesn't know he's muted. All right. All I'm trying to say is God's will is supersedes your will. Okay? So, yeah, I don't know if I can be able to wait. It's kind of long, isn't it? It says 53 seconds. Let's give him a chance. So, Moneybag, I see you, bro. I think we'll be talking in a moment. This guy, he's probably back there screaming this whole time, and he has like no realization. Oh my gosh, he's probably screaming right now, bro. Unmute yourself, Moon. You're muted. Right, unmute yourself. Oh my gosh. Alright, so Moon, I'm gonna drop you, bro. You can come back up later if you want. Moon,
my guy,
welcome back, bro.
where you from, man?
Welcome back. Alright, I hope you're a
Where you from?
little bit calmer now. Okay.
Yo, you look crazy, bro.
Can we finish the conversation we was just having?
Yo, you look crazy,
Okay,
bro.
but can we finish the
I can
conversation?
tell why you don't look at
Oh my
you.
gosh, brother! If you're gonna insult me, then we're not gonna have a
Bro,
conversation.
look at you though, man. All jokes aside, look at you.
Bro is hard coping. Look at me, king. All right, relax, bro. Like, we're not gonna have a conversation. I don't tolerate insults, bro. Other people might, but I don't. I'd rather speak to you about the topic. But if you want to insult me, I'm not gonna do that because I'm pretty good at roasting as well. but I'm not gonna do that. So, anyone else want to come up and talk? I would love to speak to you as long as you can hold it together. Oh my gosh, it's like my guy was breaking. So anyways, let's not do that. Feel free to come up and we'll have a conversation. Moneybag, where you disappear to? What's up, Centaur? Oh my gosh. Right, did we come this way? Yeah, we've done that once already. Wait, no, have we? I believe there's 2 ways you can go from there. What you mean? Oh, can't people talk about it? Take this out for now. What's up, Garrett? I see you, bro. Sorry, Red App guys. I do miss that chat quite often. It's just like it's outside. I mean, I don't actually intend to convince people to become atheists, though, Centaur. Like, that's not what I'm here to do. I don't think. Yeah, it's not that I would feel bad doing that. It's just I don't think it's my job to convince people to be atheists. I just want to be able to have a conversation with someone, understand their position. Hopefully, they understand my position, and whatever conclusions they come to after that, so be it. But I don't particularly want to try and convert people to atheism. Although I think it would be better for society. It's just not the aim. Yeah, in a sense, Centaur, right? I think these big question conversations are catalysts for other more serious, real material or material realities that we're all facing. So sometimes when you have a good conversation with somebody, it goes from, oh yeah, we started about talking about God, but now we're talking about like the geopolitical situation, sociological issues, etc., psychological issues, things that actually matter, right? Because yeah, the God concept does matter, but it's more of a jump off point, right? To like, again, I'm not a philosopher, just a normal guy, but these kinds of concepts invite the normal person to engage with what's known as a dialectic, like a thesis, antithesis, synthesis, and that can take you into really interesting places. So that's what I'm interested in. I'm more interested in the cultural critique of what religion and gods do to people on the earth than trying to make someone an atheist. Right? I don't think that's something I could do anyway. But my nose is so blocked. It's hard to even breathe. Buck up in the mouth, breather. in a real way. Oh yeah, I see religious psychosis. For sure. I think it's, do you know what? It's gonna put on a kettle, get a coffee going. Right, let's find the boss. I can't remember what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, we need to go back to the mansion. This huge mansion. Yeah, I have got allergies. I think like during this season, I think I'll probably be like this all the way up until like September, maybe like October, and then just get like much better. But then that's like the rain season and the cold season, so I'll just be getting colds again. Do like because of work and stuff like that, I don't get the chance to go see a doctor. Just get it figured out. Like, do you know what? I was thinking about this as well. Right? We need to campaign. I know it sounds dread, but we need to campaign in the UK or wherever you are in the world to get doctor surgeries and like specialists, like hospital specialists, open on the weekend. But like, I'm not saying like we should overwork our healthcare system. I'm simply saying we need to be able to hire extra people to afford that. In the UK now, they've got an issue with doctors and doctors' wages. A lot of people are actually graduating to become doctors, but they can't actually get jobs. If we expanded these services into the weekend and late evenings, there would be enough jobs, right? You know, that's just an idea though. But again, who am I? I'm just a guy. But I think like societally, we could make that happen, bro. That'd be great. Well, you got a whole section of society literally trying to vote for a guy that's going to privatize the NHS and the healthcare system, sell our data to Palantir and all that. We've got people who actually need a doctor's appointment after work or on a weekend. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course, right? You wouldn't want to overstretch your GP anyway. Like, of course, they're stressed people. I think they allot like 15 minutes per appointment if they can. And even that 15 minutes is more reduced to like 2 minutes for diagnosis, the rest for history and shit like that. So if you could get those new graduates on the job as trainees, like, I don't know, who wants to spend 100 odd K at university to end up being an apprentice at the end of it, but I think it could work, man. Or maybe maybe some kind of community training system to like, or just have like nurses run it. Not saying that nurses aren't overworked either, but yeah, if it was a case of that, I know like your chemist can deal with minor ailments. So it's interesting. It is as it is. Right, I used to work for what do they call them? Like a healthcare distribution company. So like, I used to bring the medications to pharmacies, to hospitals. Yeah, the system is kind of rigged, bro. I hate to say it, but it is kind of rigged. Gardening to do, big up to you, bro. Hey, but anyone else want to call up? Try not to go crazy like good. Actually, you know what? I don't mind if you go crazy like good. Good was interesting, but I don't enjoy disrespect. Yeah, legitimately rigged, bro. It's actually effed when you start deep in it, like, and the interaction of like food corporations, tobacco and alcohol corporations, lobbying with healthcare. It's weird. It's very weird, but you can't really speak about stuff like that. You disappear. Remember when I had the stream about we should ban cigarettes, we should ban alcohol, we should ban junk food. That shit put my stream into the like blacklisted for like months and months after that. It's crazy. It's kind of why I just like somewhat remain safe, even though it's controversial. Like the actual takes about how I think society should be are kind of scary. So, who cares? I mean, I would visit that city, but I don't know if I could live in that city centre. I don't know if I can live in that city. I would visit it though. Well, actually, I say that, but who's to say what? It might turn out to be great, or it might turn out to be terrible. Some vegan food is good, but like veganism is also another thing that's been hijacked by corporates. So it's like people become vegans and still find themselves eating like just completely processed, highly processed food. So it's like no point really. It's just you're doing it for like a moral or perceived moral veneer, not necessarily your health. Do you know? That's effed up in my view. It's just as bad as the meat industry. Yeah, for real. But again, as a meat eating person, I think the variety is necessary personally. And I also eat meat out of a childhood rebellion, anyways, because I was grown up to not eat meat. So there's that. I'm aware of my hypocrisy, put it that way. and I'm fine with my contradictions. What do you mean? Feel free to call in. If you're on the red app, come on over. Oh shit. Come on over to the black app, which is TikTok at SetWest10, and hit the little request icon at the bottom of the screen. It's a blue man and a pink man, or a pink woman, or a blue woman and a pink man. Hit that button, you can come up and talk to me. I mean, I don't know if I get to say that, you know. I think I have the capacity to express empathy, but it'd be like saying, hey, I'm a good person and I find that to be performative. You know, it's like when like street people be like, I'm real, bruv, I'm real. No, bro, if you got to tell me you're real, you're probably not real. You know, like. So if I have to tell you like, you know, on the situation, I can say, yeah, I'm empathetic to that cause, or I'm empathetic to that situation specifically. But to be able to say that I'm an empathetic person in general, it really implies like a certain level of narcissism. Right? Who am I to say? Right? Do other people consider me empathetic? Is probably more important. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's true. Empathetic doesn't necessarily mean good, but in my view, good is relative anyway. Good is like a moral judgment. Well, yeah, like, who said I had to be a good person? Like, when I realized that, like, I don't know, maybe in the last decade or so, life has been way better. Now, although, like, very often, even like just a week that's just gone past, I find myself being like, damn it, man, like, why do I have to care like that? If I just didn't care, I would be way better off for it. So I do F up like that too. I do have a Discord server, but I don't know how to use it, so I don't share it like that. Because I hear it can be very difficult to police, and you can have all kind of weird shit happening on there. And because it's your server, you become responsible for it. So I just don't really want that kind of burden. Alright, so that was one way. It's out of the castle. There was a way to go up to the library. Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. I'm not necessarily trusted like that to like just be assigning people roles and wants and all that kind of shit. I'm not saying I wouldn't do that in the future, but just as it stands, just, everyone's a stranger. But anyways, I'm saying humans invented God. All known gods are psychological constructs, do not exist independently of the mind. If your God requires belief, imagination, or faith to interact with, it's functionally non-existent. It's likely somebody had to devise a concept of it and impart it to you for you to interact with, or you yourself have to devise a concept in order to interact with it. What I'm going to do is grab my coffee, blow my nose, and we're going to play a different game for a bit since no one's calling it. I'll be like 20 people when I'm not at the screen. Hey, someone of the 20 people, call in. Let's talk about it. Like, oh, no, he's black. I'm out. Oh, no, he's black. I don't yes, I'm out. I'm joking. Come on up. Come up here. Let's dance. I forget that meme. Alright, yeah, this game's not... Look, this game I've rinsed to the ground, but it's the easiest game to play while speaking to people because I understand the mechanics of it really well. But there are other games I want to play. Just like in my own enjoyment, for my own enjoyment. Since no one's coming up, I can kind of focus on enjoying the game a bit. Hey, you can't debate religion without talking esoteric and schizo shit. Well, I guess those are like those are constituents of religion. Oh, I tried to play that this morning, but because it's an online game and my like internet is dodgy, it just keeps disconnecting. So I can't really play it while I'm on a stream. So I do want to see what that where the wind suite is all about, but I can't seem to get it off the ground. Hey, appreciate you, Centaur. North says, knowing when we die, there's nothing. How do you feel about that? I don't know. I haven't made my mind up. The better question is, why should I feel entitled to there being something? That's the better question. You know, why should I feel entitled to that? No, as an Italian, yeah, I know. It's like, it's my work mug. I always use this 'cause it just stays hotter longer. But technically, if I was to pour this out into like a normal coffee cup, it's the same volume. So it just looks, it's just elongated. But you got to remember, like there's the metal bit, then there's the thermoplastic bit, which takes up quite a lot of the actual inside. So it's not as big as it looks. I'm joking. Yeah. Yeah, believe in, but for real, look, put it like this, North, right? You could believe in God and still not have an afterlife, right? God could be alive, or not alive, but exist and made everything and just didn't make an afterlife too, right? So they're not necessarily exclusive like that. I don't really have an opinion on it, Mr. Sleepy. I'm not opposed to it either. I think all consenting adults should be able to engage in any, like, you know, let's say reasonable fantasies that they have in terms of adult industries. I don't have any problem with that. If that's what you're into. Get a nun suit, get a nurse suit, get a military suit, however you want to dress up. There's a view that the most important part of like coitus, like for younger ears, is actually the fantasy part, the layer on top of the physical interaction. The physical interaction is just an animal interaction, so the mental aspect to intercourse is probably the most important in terms of pleasure psychologically. So yeah, whatever you're into, right? So I ain't got no problem with that. This game can get a bit spooky, so be prepared to see some strange shit. I put the gun down. Let's go get that back quickly. What's up, Goose? Come on up and talk, man. I can't, like, this type of game is going to be very hard to watch the chat and play, because this is my first time playing this, so I don't know what's around every corner. It's going to be difficult to watch chat. I'm a big fan of Resident Evil, and I just seen they've finally released a remake of Code Veronica. We're gonna be getting that next year. Motherfucker. Yeah, some of these guys you just cannot fight. They'll unalive you so quick. It's Resident Evil. Yeah, so like to you, Tion, right? I can't remember what I was reading. Yeah, it was in 7 Types of Atheism, right? And the author was talking about, was it? No, this is a Zizek lecture actually. Basically, Zizek was saying, so early Catholic thinkers like Aquinas, I think, was basically, I forgot what I was supposed to do. That's what I mean, trying to play this type of game and talking doesn't really work. He was basically trying to say, right, the pursuit of pleasure in intercourse is animalistic. But Zizek, being the contrarian that he is, he pointed out, actually, no, which is quite obvious, the pleasure factor of intercourse is the most human, it's the higher, it's the metaphysical, or the spiritual interaction in coitus, whereas the actual just the pure act of sex is the animal nature, like we was discussing yesterday with a caller, right? Nature itself is hedonistic. Animals don't necessarily, as far as we know, engage in intercourse for pleasure. They engage in it because it's a urge, a natural drive to reproduce. Okay, so as humans, we are able to engage in intercourse at a psychologically higher level than animals. So the point of pleasure is the spiritual experience, is the metaphysical, or like, you know, the higher experiences, the finer experiences of life is the pleasure part of sex. But the pleasure part of sex exists as the fantasy layered on top of it. He goes into it way more crude, and he's talking about like the corn star, like, so between corn stars, essentially the gaze of the woman into the camera is the point of it. The man functions as just basically like a masturbatory useless function, right? He's just there to fulfill a function. But the woman is there as the fantasy and the object and the subject. It's very... I'm not good at explaining this kind of stuff, but the act itself is essentially quite meaningless without the layers of psychological fantasy on top of it. Because you may as well be a dog or a turtle or a shark then, right? It's the fact that you have a mind, right? You have access to these higher thought functions that makes the act more than just, I'm trying to reproduce myself on Earth. Like that's kind of, that's a way to look at it. But you could be a turtle or a rabbit, like, you know. Yeah, like that, Wesley, like that. Okay. Now, even when women watch pornography, right, they're not necessarily fixated on the man's action. It's like what's perceived. I can't articulate it the way he does. Right? It's you know, people say everything is mental, right? It'd be, yeah. Why are we talking about this? An idiot with fucking... I don't mean to call you an idiot, but yeah. Anyways, I knew I was going to be able to play this game while talking to people. No, it's not just the possibility of your fantasy, right? Reality is an entirely mind-dependent thing, okay? So you don't interact with reality as it is. You interact with reality as you wish to perceive it. So even in intercourse, it's not the actual feeling of, you know, intercourse that is the reality to you. It's the perception of the feeling of intercourse and what you layer that perception with. Right? So it's not. It's actually it's weird as hell. It's probably, you probably shouldn't want to know this stuff. Put it that way, okay? Perception is 9/10 of the law. That's funny. Oh, Ghost! I saw you. I was just about to accept you up, bro. Do you know what? I'll actually make a conscious effort to try and understand this particular subject better, so I can really speak on it the way I think it should be spoken on. There's a lady called Alan. I can't pronounce her last name. Alan. She's a let's see if I can just find a philosopher. She's in that same kind of circle with Zizek, but that's kind of like her main subject around sex. So not Alan, Elaine. Yeah, that's a shame. Is it the bottom? No, that's a guy. I can't remember her name, bro. I think it's Elaine something. She's Slavic. No, I don't actually think it is, right? Because so the intercourse is actually mutual masturbation. So it's not really the closest you can get to, but like, say a dialogue would bring you closer to that person than the intercourse itself. the intercourse is just it's a matter of fact, but it's the layers of fantasy you build up on that. It's like some people say, you don't know the person, you know how you imagine that person to be, right? And the minute that fantasy of that person shatters, the feelings you think you have for that person also shatter. So it's not actually it's not actually them, it's your experience that you've created of them. Right? But you'd probably get a way more closer connection with that person just by having a conversation about something that matters, or like, you know, sharing an experience, like, you know, going seeing the sunset or walking down the street, or just some kind of sensory memory is more likely to be more meaningful in the long run of life than the actual intercourse itself. For instance, your memory isn't that. So when we remember something, we don't remember the event, right? We reconstruct the event. Okay. So even if you're in the moment, in the act of intercourse, you're not actually in that moment. You're in the psychological zone of that moment, the fantasy of the moment. Okay. Then after the moment passes, you begin to reconstruct that moment in various different ways. As you move further away, you may romanticize it, or you may I just realized this game can be a little bit too violent for streaming. I'm not the guy to explain this shit. Anyways, let's talk about the actual subject, which is humans inventing God. No, the feelings are how you frame the emotions. The emotions are the chemistry. The feelings are the same the same psychological framing of said emotions. So the emotions are out of your control. They're the biochemical reaction to the stimuli. The feelings is the framing that biochemical experience through your past experiences. That's what the feelings are. Yeah. That's how it is. So we use feelings and emotions interchangeably, but emotions are completely out of our control. Feelings change as, you know, our experiences change. I mean, yeah, I can try and talk about love, but doesn't mean it would mean anything. Because to me, love is just as conceptual as the metaphysical topical God. It's the same kind of. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Like, it's no consistent facts. It's a shame, innit? Hey, someone's calling up. Just give me a sec to get my headphones on. Yeah. Duck Dodgers, come back on your main account, bro. Hello.
What's going on?
How you doing, bro?
What's up?
How do I pronounce your name?
Call me Raffo.
Raffo.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you too, bro. So, my argument would be that I don't think the potential to produce the idea of an infinite thing exists in the mind of a human. So, if we have in fact conceived of something which is God, that idea could not possibly be invented by us because the potential to create such an idea doesn't exist in us.
So does infinity exist outside of us?
Yeah.
How?
Well, I just gave an argument for it. The fact that there's an infinite thought in our mind, and the fact that we can't produce such a thought means something other than us produced it.
Is infinity experienceable?
Sure.
Say again.
I said sure.
How?
Well, it depends on what kind of like if there was an infinite God, he could interact with you. He could like send you
So,
gifts,
so
whatever,
like, if you think
blessings.
maybe my understanding of infinity is wrong, let me just get like a clear definition because my understanding may be completely wrong to the point that I'm actually trying to
By
make.
infinity, I just mean no limit. I just mean it doesn't have a limit. There's no greater. There's no further it could increase. There is no limit.
So you got like physical infinities and mathematical infinities.
Right?
What
This
do
would
you
be a
mean?
substantial infinity. So think of your existence as a substance being finite, and think of that substance being, or now think of a substance being infinite
So
and
yeah,
unlimited in the way your substance is limited.
yeah. So I don't think infinity is experienceable. Then I think infinity itself is just a concept. So like, if you give like your opening argument again, so we can understand the wording better.
Okay, do you think that you have the idea of infinity in your mind or not?
I think that's the only place it could exist.
Okay, so the point is, if there is the idea of infinity in your mind, because your mind cannot produce such an idea, because it is infinite and your mind is finite, then therefore something else must have caused it.
I don't think that's true. We can conceptualize things we can't experience.
Okay, but it's not about experience. It's about whether or not the potential reality exists in us to produce it. You're saying that we are the cause of
I don't
this.
think I understand what you mean.
So this is the point. The idea in your mind is an effect. Either it's an effect of you or an effect of something else. It didn't cause itself. It's caused by something. It's an act of the mind, right?
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying so far?
Yeah, I think I understand.
Okay. And so if there is this thing in your mind which is caused and it's infinite, I'm saying you could not have caused it because you're not infinite.
So why are we calling this thing infinite though? This is the problem here.
Well, if you have conceived of the negation of something being finite, then you've already conceived of it being infinite.
Yes, but like in terms of the God conversation, is God something you're defining as infinite?
I mean, well, so the way we would define God is by the negation of ourselves. Like, for example, you know things in an incomplete way. By negating the incomplete knowledge, you conceive of a complete knowledge. So when you conceive of a thing which has infinite knowledge because yours is finite, so you negate the limitation of your knowledge
But
and suppose it.
I think you're overwording it, right? Really, so like maybe overcomplicating it.
No, right now I'm showing how you can derive the properties of God just from thinking. So if you think, like, think of yourself, you are a limited
But
thinking thing.
what is the base of what I'm trying to say to you is this, right? In order for you to establish what a God is, right, where do you get that information from?
I think in yourself you can think to God.
So you could just generate concepts of God then.
No, I don't think you generate it. I think God generates it.
Why? How could like that doesn't even make
Because
sense?
the concept of that's what I'm saying. Because look, the concept of God is an infinite concept. The content of that concept is
I
not
think
finite; it's infinite.
yeah, but
So
you
you can't
can't
cause infinite things.
you can't have that. That's not like sensible in a way of speaking. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, I mean, do you think that the idea in your mind is the idea of infinity?
Right. So again, this is with all due respect. This conversation is completely, to me, anyways, right, kind of gibberish. If we just slow down, start with one simple question: what do you think God is?
God would be all the things I want to be, but I'm not, or like, and to clarify that, that's what I'm talking about, negating what you are, because you are a thing that thinks, but you think imperfectly
Wait, don't get
by
too philosophical.
imagining
Don't get too philosophical. Like the question is just simply, what do you think God is?
God is all-powerful creator of everything.
Why do you think that?
Why do I? That's the definition.
Who gave you that definition?
That I can she give it. It doesn't matter how you. The point is
Who
that
gave
you're
you that?
referring to a primitive. Look, this is the point. No matter what, you're referring to some kind of primitive principle. So if you want to say that it's not a mind or it doesn't have a will, it's still going to be God because you're referring to some kind of, or actually, even if you don't want to say that's a god, if you want to say it's something limited or something like that, it's still the first thing that you're talking about. So
You've gone very quiet and mumbly, bro. It's hard to hear what you just said.
okay, basically this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Polytheists, when they define God, they're not going to define it the way I just defined it. But that doesn't mean I'm saying they're atheist. When you
Yeah,
told
I
me
understand that.
what do I think, so when you ask me what do I think God is, well, God definitively is, just whatever the highest order is, or whoever the highest
To you,
order
right?
is.
To you.
No, I'm saying when cultures use the term, that's what they're referring to.
No, right? Because we just
That is what.
like you just pointed to polytheism being different to your view. Right? People, right? So I'll say it like this. I use the word God as a category definer for supernatural entities or deities. Okay, a Christian may use the word God to point to the creator of the universe or Jesus. A pantheist may use the word God to point to all things. Uh, you know, an animist may use the word God to point to the spirit of an ancestor. Do you get what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, and
So
I'm
when you
saying,
tell me how you use God, what you're pointing to is your beliefs about a concept and how you define it.
yeah. So this is the point. I think that what like when Christians say there is a God, they're referring to a first cause which is infinite.
You
I
can't speak. You
believe
can't
that
speak for all Christians, bro. Like
you don't think that.
not all Christians have read Thomas Aquinas. You know, like
Okay, if someone if
do you
someone
know?
that yeah, but you understand they would be mistaken in their belief if they didn't believe that.
Well, I think all God beliefs are mistaken fundamentally.
No, I'm saying as a Christian, it would be a non-Christian belief
No, not necessarily.
to say that God
So
is the
to
it, bro.
consider that like how many billions of people are
Bro, it's not even
Christians.
worth it.
Oh, bro, ran. That's crazy. So, anyways, right, to consider how many billions of people are Christians and have no kind of concept of a necessary being or a first cause is something that is very real. That's a reality. Like an average Christian doesn't know what a first cause or a necessary being is. They think of like an anthropomorphic deity like Jesus or something like that. But yeah, I think he ran because like kind of what he's saying is just really it's just like philosophical gibberish. That's my opinion though. Maybe he had other matters to attend to. Test. Test. Yeah, the mic is a bit low. If you go to plug it out, plug it back in.
Mishima. Get ready for the next battle. Demo play. Kazuya Mishima. Get ready for the next battle.
I hate rich people!
Round one. Fight.
versus special online. Special versus practice. Arcade practice. Training. Metro City downtown.
Gotta play the sidelines. Gotta make my own highlights. It's time to heat up for the fight of my life. Show 'em what I got. Smart choice. It's my time. Brought till I fall, boy. Give it my all, boy. Got me feeling like I can follow more.
Fighting ground. Practice versus special match. Versus practice arcade. Score.
Y'all tired of playing the sidelines. Gotta make my own highlights. It's time to heat up for the fight of my life. Show 'em what I got, cause you know that it's my time. Brought till I fall, boy. Give it my all, boy. Got me feeling like I can fight 'em all, boy. The time has come, the bell is rung. No weekends here, you know that I'm a star, boy. My blood, sweat, and tears. I've been struggling for years. I'm saying I'm one of a kind and they ain't built it like me. Vision myself a champion, one day I might be. Proud of what I see from the man in the mirror. A real freedom fighter, got a problem, what's the deal? Everybody know that I always keep it real.
Man, the foundation was just supposed to be